right, William Binney's with us for 5 more minutes, and each interview we do just gets more powerful. I don't know what you call the last 30 minutes. I mean, the memo's out. I'll cover that more in the next segment. It's an exact blueprint and sources, the document that Binney brought up last week that no one had covered. And, you know, if a tree falls in the forest, it doesn't make a sound. You know, I mean, if nobody's there, did it make a sound? Yeah, that had been out from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. No one was pointing it out. Binney did. And the media just went, oh, that's already been out, but no one covered it and you won't cover it. It's now the source of much of what's in the Nunes memo. Don't you feel stupid? So, Mr. Binney, in the 4.5 minutes we have left, I've been asking a lot of questions here, but one point you wanted to make during the break we were talking was this lie, this is hurting the U.S. or hurting intelligence agencies or giving out methods. I'm not an expert like you, but I read the memo. There's nothing there but a bunch of Democrat operatives lying to get fake warrants.
Yeah, it's what they're doing is they're trying to use national security issues as a way of covering up for the embarrassments to people or the crimes that people are committing. And I would also point out that there really wasn't any need to have the president declassify that under Executive Order 13526, Section 1.7, which governs all the classification of documents in the U.S. government. They are required they cannot classify, maintain classified, or not declassify any documents that contain information about criminal activity or embarrassment or corruption or fraud or waste. They cannot use that classification to cover that. So, in other words, any evidence that they have of criminal activity must be declassified by their own regulations.
And Trump's following that. He says national security has been violated. We have evidence of criminal activity. It is my duty to give this to the House. They have found as I have found, and I'm ready to give more information to the committee. That has got to make the globalists and these corrupt networks crap their pants.
It would, because they've been so criminal. I mean, they have been doing this against basically the entire population of the United States and the world since 2001. They've been doing this. And they've been using it in court of law and perjuring themselves to convict people, and thousands of people are in jail because of this program. So, you know, they have a lot to account for.
I would be ashamed spying on my wife or people if I had these systems. I would be, you know, there's just no honor. And I guess they're trying to recruit people that don't have honor. And then the good guys, I'm told, get kept low level. And then the bad people just get put at the top until you get people like Hayden and Clapper and Brennan, you know, before Congress saying we've never spied on one American. It's unbelievable.
Well, what they meant was we haven't spied on any. We have not spied on just one American. We've spied on them all. That's what it is. And they're so arrogant. They don't care what they say. They can lie to anybody or say anything they want to, and they don't think there's any consequence. This is why we have to look back. This is why we have to address these issues with those people and hold them accountable for what they did.
Well, I think we've come a long way. We've got a long way to go, but they say the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. I think we've gone about 100 miles into 1,000 miles, and we're committed. We're going down the road. I think we're gaining speed. I think a lot of positive stuff's happening. Do you agree with that, A? And then B, in closing, how does the deep state strike back, though? Because you were saying during the break, the FBI is kind of the scapegoat here. You were saying the NSA is behind it.
Yeah, actually, I think we have a lot more to go than 1,000 miles, but I think this is the break, and I think this break now is opening up the real rottenness in our government in Washington and in the agencies that make it up, and so this is where we really have to get to it, and it goes beyond, like, the FBI is the front. They take the flack from everybody because they figure they'll still survive because we need the FBI. But behind them are the supporting agencies like NSA and CIA and others who are actually helping them do and achieve what they want to do as a collective group of, that I call them the Praetorian Guard, who will determine what our government does.